Okay, Modified family, this is part two. We started yesterday, and Brandon was able to run and get those pieces that we needed, some of the wiring, some of the pedals, and then a few other parts off that donor car. So now they've been here for a couple hours working. I just got off work, so I'm gonna check in on their progress. I hear some bad news is afoot, but it'll all get worked out. All right, so we're in here now. Apparently I put one of these bushings on wrong, the one at the very front, so he switched around. I thought it was facing outward, but it's facing inward, so that was fixed. But the first issue we're running into is that the transmission is not shifting into all the gears. I mean, we got, let's see, so we're in neutral. So it's third, fourth, fifth, and reverse you can hear. And then second gear is a fight. It's not going in. And first and second gear, like, you get nothing out of it. So not sure what's going on with that, but that is going to be the project as we finish getting everything in.
Maybe you just left one in there?
No, I did not leave one in there. So yeah, that's what happened to me last time. All right, everybody, so this is cool. It looks like this Torque Solutions mount worked. That was the one to switch it from auto to manual, because I think this bracket is in a different place on the automatic cars, and it's moved over on the manual one, so that's like you have to buy this specific one. But things are back together, transmission is in there, and so I think we're reattaching the intermediate shaft, the manual one, because I think that the automatic one would not work, and I think the T bracket is swapped. It's already in, so they and rear mount too. Both the things we have are all together. Oh, and look at this. They got the rack and pinion. Is this the new one or the old one?
That is the new one.
Okay, this is the new rack and pinion that's going to replace the one that's like all over the place. And then this is the pedal set. So you can see that the gas pedal and brake look different because on automatic the brake is substantially bigger, and a lot of people just cut it and run it, but then it puts the clutch way too close, so it's nice to have the full pedal set. So this is all going to go in today, and hopefully we get this bad boy shifting. And Brandon was working on getting the lights swapped over from his automatic cluster into his manual cluster, and that's going back in.
Yeah, it'll go.
All right, so in troubleshooting, Zero was under there, and he was finishing the shift linkage and needed some bushings that the kit didn't come with, so we had to had to use some washers. He's giving Brandon sage advice about not impacting the clutch line onto the master cylinder for the clutch. And this is my old S2001, and I used the impact to get this in there, and it snapped off in there. So this is pretty much garbage. Maybe we can still use this, but we don't need it for this build. So with the one Brandon got, it looks right. It should be right. It just has a different like cap, but then here at the tip is right here at the top, like the insertion point, instead of on the side. So I'm just trying to make sure we can get it on there without breaking anything. I think I might have a spare for the wagon, but so this is the next challenge, and I am gonna drop under and throw in the 3 shouldered bolts. They're very specific bolts that if I can find them, I will show you. Where they at?
They're in it.
Oh, so they're already in it, so I just gotta get down there and tighten them. And they should be 12s?
Nah, 14.
They are 14 millimeters, just like I thought, just like I was saying. All right, so we'll get back to that. The pedal sets need to go in, and then there will be some bleeding of the clutch lines, and a slave cylinder needs to go right there in the front. I'm pretty sure there's a fork in there. Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, I checked after I put it in yesterday. I'm like, I never checked this.
Yeah, so I mean, just dumb luck sometimes. We didn't check that the shift fork was in there, but luckily it is, so we don't have to pull this all apart. So things are back on track. All right, here we go. All right, so progress is progress. We're definitely going. So at this point, we're just kind of mired in the minutia. I had to find a lower starter bolt. I mean, we're just looking at a bunch of wires. There's a starter right there. I had to find the lower bolt because we had lost the one that we had. But luckily, like I said about saving Honda bolts, like I always say, it's good to have them. Then I came over here and I attached that ground cable, I think it is, the big one, and then I did the hot wire. So the starter's all hooked up. They got the slave cylinder connected to the master cylinder, but we're kind of at an impasse because we will still need brake fluid to put in there to make sure the clutch is good to go. I am going to reattach the ground, but I think there's a mount that we are missing, so I will find one on these other transmissions. Let's see, this blue one should have it. So coming over here, the mount that we need looks like, I think it's one of these ones. I think it's that we need. One time I threw that mount away, and that was bad, because then I needed it. So luckily I had another transmission to pull it from. So I'm going to get that mount off so that we can attach to the ground. Just want everything to be buttoned up. Right now, Zero is hanging out the driver's side of his friend's ride, trying to haul out some scrubs. But what he's doing is, I did not know that on the pedal set where the clutch is this individual pedal, like, yeah, obviously that's an obvious thing, unlike the old EF and DA models where the clutch is one piece with the other pedals. But with the DC models, the only real difference is the brake pedal. And instead of removing the whole pedal set, you can just remove the manual brake pedal and the automatic one and swap them. So that's what he's doing. I tried. I'm sweating like a pig, not because I was working hard, but simply because I suck in tight spaces. All right, so everything's going back together right now. We are done for the evening. It got super late. A lot of the work had to start late because of the vast reaches that we had to go to get this stuff. Yeah, I think they started at 5, and I wasn't even off till like after 6. So we're getting to a really good place. I had to custom make a mount for the ground over here, and I think we just need to get a little bit tighter. I have a plethora of transmissions, so I found one that will work and that would reach. I took out the driver's seat so they can get in there. They got the manual brake pedal in, and now we need to put the brakes or the nuts back in that hold that pedal assembly, and then the clutch pedal will go in, and then Brandon's going to finish up with the cluster, probably not today, and then the master slave, like I said, is hooked up, but it needs fluid, so you can get it in there. We'll have to pump it until we get all the air bubbles out, and then that should actuate the clutch. And then we should be ready. The next time we come on here, we should be ready to start this thing up. But it's definitely in a lot better state than it was before.